rock world has always been a living, breathing story, filled with twists, reunions, and the kind of poetic coincidences you couldn't script if you tried. But even in a scene where change is the only constant, the news hit differently. Josh Freese, the man who stepped into one of the most emotionally charged roles in modern rock history, is returning to Nine Inch Nails. The announcement came like a shot of adrenaline, blasted across Nin's channels with a rally cry that matched their grit. "Let's effing go!" For many fans, it felt like watching two worlds collide: the industrial, shadow-soaked universe of Trent Reznor and the anthemic, heart-pounding arena power of Dave Grohl's Foo Fighters, connected by the same pair of sticks in Freese's hands. And then came Dave Grohl's response, if you could even call it that. True to form, Grohl didn't jump into the media circus. There was no fiery post, no clickbait headline. Instead, in a heartfelt letter marking the 30th anniversary of the Foo Fighters' debut album, he chose his words like a craftsman carving into stone. In one paragraph, tucked neatly among reflections on the band's journey, he offered something far more powerful than a reaction. It was gratitude. It should go without saying, Grohl wrote, that without the boundless energy of William Goldsmith, the seasoned wisdom of Franz Stahl, and the thunderous wizardry of Josh Freese, this story would be incomplete. So we extend our heartfelt gratitude for the time, music, and memories that we shared with each of them over the years. For those who followed the Foo Fighters' story, the weight of those words is impossible to miss. Josh Freese didn't come to the Foos in a time of ease. He arrived in the shadow of heartbreak after the sudden loss of Taylor Hawkins left a hole in the band's soul. Stepping into that role was not just about technical skill. It demanded emotional fortitude, empathy, and the rare ability to carry the music forward without replacing the irreplaceable. Show after show, Freese did exactly that. His playing was fierce, yet controlled, precise, yet infused with an unspoken respect for the songs, the audience, and the history he was now part of. Fans could see it in his face during performances. This was a man not just playing drums, but helping to heal a wound. So when the news broke that Freese was heading back to Nine Inch Nails, there was no drama, no tension. Only the quiet acknowledgement that sometimes, in music, paths diverge so they can connect again in new ways. Grohl's letter didn't need to say, "We'll miss you." It didn't need to beg for attention. It simply acknowledged that Josh Freese is part of the Foo Fighters' story forever, no matter where his drum throne happens to sit. That's the kind of respect that only comes from years on the road, shared backstage moments, and knowing that, in the chaos of the rock and roll circus, the people who keep the rhythm are the ones who hold it all together. And now, the story comes full circle. Somewhere in a dark, industrial-lit stage setup, Freese is behind the kit for Nine Inch Nails again, surrounded by the hum of synthesizers, the bite of distorted guitars, and the unmistakable tension that Nin brings to every performance. Fans who followed him through every band, from the Vandals to Devo, from Guns N', Roses to Sting, know that he's not just a drummer, he's a shapeshifter, adapting to any musical landscape while leaving his unmistakable stamp. The next time Dave Grohl watches a Nin set, whether from side stage or on a live stream at home, you can picture him smiling, maybe even laughing at the sheer perfection of it all. Because in rock and roll, goodbyes aren't always forever. They're just another verse before the chorus comes around again. This moment isn't just about a drummer changing bands, it's about the unspoken brotherhood of musicians, the way their lives intertwine across decades, genres, and personal histories. Josh Freese may be pounding the skins for Nine Inch Nails now, but his heartbeat will always echo in the Foo Fighters' story. And in the end, that's what makes rock history so electric. because the beat never really stops. It just finds a new song to drive forward. Imagine the scene. The crowd is gone, the stage is quiet, and somewhere backstage, a single snare drum still hums from the night's vibrations. A road case is wheeled into the shadows, marked simply with the name Freese. In that silence, you can almost hear the footsteps of a drummer who spent his life moving from one musical battlefield to another, each gig a different war, each song a different weapon. This is Josh Freese's element. He's not just a drummer who joins bands, he's a musician who becomes a lifeline when bands need one most. His journey has been nothing short of a rock odyssey. With 9-inch nails, he commanded the chaos, locking into Trent Reznor's dark, industrial pulse like a machine with a heartbeat. With the Foo Fighters, he stepped into an entirely different kind of storm, one built from grief and love, from the aching space left by Taylor Hawkins' passing. In those first shows after joining the Foos, you could see the unspoken weight he carried. Every beat wasn't just about the song. It was about holding the band together, giving them something steady to lean on when the ground beneath them had shifted forever. It's no wonder Dave Grohl's tribute wasn't a public spectacle, but a quiet, crafted piece of gratitude. Grohl has always understood that the best musicians aren't just skilled, they're empathetic. His nod to Freese and the Foo Fighters' 30th anniversary message was more than a thank you. It was an acknowledgement that Freese had been there when the band needed him most. Grohl didn't have to spell out the emotion behind the words. For fans, the meaning was clear. The man behind the drums had also been behind their healing. And now, as Freese returns to 9-inch nails, the move feels less like a departure and more like a continuation of the same story. The venues will change, the set lists will shift, the lights will cast a different hue, but the essence remains. Watching him sit behind that NIN kit again will feel like watching a hero return to the battlefield where he first became legendary. And somewhere, maybe at home with a guitar in his lap or in a studio surrounded by memories, Dave Grohl will be watching too, smiling, nodding, maybe even air drumming along to a beat he knows by heart.